Dan, Chris mentioned in there about a little bit about how the industry is going to have to adapt and stuff, and how some organizations are going to have to sort of change their thinking and get away from this, as he described, this kind of bookended bit. Now, someone who has one of those jobs in that sector, and I could see you sort of nodding along there whilst Chris was talking. Have you seen, I guess the two bits that I'm curious about. The first thing is some of those trends that Chris is talking about converging about future of work, digitisation and sustainability, climate change. Have you seen that being more of a driver in your conversations, even pre-pandemic, I guess, to an extent, but now? And also, I'm just interested as well, this idea about, you know, I've talked about it in other places where the idea that workplace strategy is not about the strategy that you have for the space that people work in that you own. It's more about the experience they have across a range of spaces. And are you starting to, or do you see a future where you guys are getting involved in that workplace experience outside of the shell that you've been commissioned to look at, and just thinking about, actually, we want people to come through this space as much as be in it? So two very big questions, I realise as well. I have a habit of doing that, so sorry.
Yeah, on the first one about, like you say, the hot topics, climate, CO2, etc., etc. Yes, it's always on everyone's agenda when they come to design office space, but that agenda is just gigantic. There are so many boxes you need to tick. Yeah. Not that it's just a box ticking exercise. It is for some companies. Others, they really want to push forward and be greener, etc. But there's so many things you have to think about as a company when it comes to, not just, like I say, it's no longer just the design of an office anymore. It's how are all your staff working? Where are they working? What have they got to work with? And just that whole very, very long list. So yes, it is on everyone's agenda, but so are lots of other things as well. And I think unless you're a company that is well known for choosing one and going down that line and being the, say, greenest company out there, yeah, I can imagine it's very hard for companies to be the best at everything and be the most responsible company they can be. And then coming back to, like you say, the design of that office and its expansion, we haven't yet, for instance, been asked by a company to both design their office and everyone's home office, which would be that ultimate consistency. Haven't yet. It'd be nice to. Lovely if you said, oh, please go and design our 100 staff's home office rooms as well as our actual office. Would be good. I mean, we do also design home stuff as well, so we have to think about how we can get spaces to work into people's homes already, or we have to really emphasize that it's an important part of a household now to have the space to work as well. But yeah, in terms of the actual then design of the office, it's getting to the point now where if you're asking yourself, what's my reason for going into the office? Because at home, my home is enriched with my things, I can have my music on. It's my decoration, it's my furniture, my tech's better. So the majority, I'd say, of offices really have a lot to catch up with in order for their staff to be in there and think, oh, it was actually worthwhile me being in here today, rather than get into an office and be like, oh, I can't print anything, or I can't connect to a screen, oh, it's too loud. So there's a lot of hurdles to get through before the office is as efficient as some people's homes may be. And as Chris said, not everyone has space to work at home, so they have to be in the office, and therefore it can't all be just about, collaboration spaces. You have to supply the right space for people to concentrate, for those who aren't fortunate enough to have a room with a drum kit in at home as well.